Okay, so this is an extended conversation that I created when I did an Instagram story. Today's May 3rd. So, in my Instagram story, I talked about the 5 task rule that Anthony Frisella discusses with Dave Metzer. Now, I think this is back in June 25th, 2019. And he talks about executing 5 difficult tasks. And so, um, it's basically a system that I've basically dedicated myself because I got to be able to use my vocabulary. I have to be able to dedicate myself to this. And one of my business activities that I set apart myself is to create different ways to build my brand. And so that's a business activity that I've agreed to do every single day. And I have to be accountable to show each business activity through my Instagram story. So today I'm talk a little bit about the 7 navigators and about how you should be able to pray for each navigator in order to get to a sufficient level in your spiritual journey. And so the 7 navigators is basically based on Isaiah 11. It talks about of how to uh, enhance your life and to create the life that you want for yourself by discovering each spirit of God. And so naturally, since I'm a Christian minister, my foundation of teaching is basically in Christian manhood. But there's principles that I understand and value that I want you to be able to really take in that every religion, every idealistic walk of life has wisdom. You have to have knowledge in order to get to a certain point. You have to have understanding of that knowledge and wisdom that you take in. You have to seek counsel from your elders or from people around you. You have to have might. You have to challenge yourself at every single level, on every single opportunity you get, so you can be able to really push yourself to the next phase of life. You have fear of your creator. And no matter who you are or what you believe in, it's about just acknowledging that there's a presence that's bigger than you, that uh, through the connected world, that there's things that you can't put your hands on and control all the time, and that you acknowledge that there's something bigger out there. So this might be a little bit if the world is flat to you or if the world's round to you. And that might be a pretty deep question for some people, but it's just about, how do you see and value the world? Do you value the world as a global system that's connected, or do you see yourself separate? But if you see yourself connected to something bigger, then this will work for you. And then you have the spirit of your creator. And I think the spirit of your creator is just the essence that was made when we were formed. Say, for example, you either have love or fear, and that's probably like yin and yang. It's two most empirical forms of energy that you can use. You can use love or you can use fear to drive you. And a lot of people choose fear every single day, and that they don't realize that their idea and what they visualize as love isn't just about flowers and candy or just doing something that is romanticized. It's about committing to something day in and day out because you value yourself. And for couples, obviously, it's going to be if you value your partner, and it's about using your gifts and talents to be able to get all of that. And so I say that to say this, that if you get a chance to read my book, each navigator, I just go in depth about what they are and just how they relate to the bigger picture of your life. And so, how to implement the 7 navigators is you have to pray for each navigator. And I know this. Some people, it's not a hard concept. I really think that it's an easy concept to get, but um, for a lot of people, when they face the pressures of life, when life is really hammering down on them, or you're forced into one or two decisions, maybe that you really don't have time to think the bigger picture. And I'll tell you that if you start with praying for wisdom, wisdom is going to be the thing that can give you discernment to even open your mind up to all the other navigators. Um, in the Bible, they talk about King Solomon, and that, King Solomon prayed to God for wisdom. And that was the time to where he realized that wisdom was going to get him further along in life than money ever could, money ever will, had the potential to do. And he could have prayed for other things, but the wisdom that he attained from God gave him everything he needed to be king. And that a king plays chess, a queen plays chess, and not checkers. And that it's important for you to know that the more that you commit yourself to these kind of things, the more you open yourself up to better opportunities. If you pray for more wisdom, if you pray for more knowledge, if you pray for more understanding, if you pray for more counsel, if you pray for people to help you and guide you on the way, an example to follow, somebody you can talk to that you can look up to, a mentor. Pray for mentorship. Pray for mentorship. And then you just pray and have respect for your creator, and you pray that you can embody, you become the love of your creator, you become the spirit of your creator. And I think if you pray for each navigator, that gives you the starting point to grow from there. And that the more that you just keep on the thought of what you want to become, it has to happen. The universe has to get out your way. I know Will Smith talks about that a lot, right? But it's about just allowing yourself discipline to believe in yourself, and then you literally just sit and watch as the world basically gets out of the way to help you reach it, and you get there faster and faster. So that's it for me. But I want to be able to just share that with you. If you want to follow me, you can find me on the 7 Navigators on Instagram, the 7 Navigators on Facebook. I want to be able to reach back out to you. I've been talking with my Instagram story group, and I was telling them that I'm doing an accountability group that I'm trying to start a mastermind right now. And so it's pretty invigorating to know that there are people out there that can keep it simple, and that realize that you can fight the good fight, but you just have to consider the realism of the world. And I have a bunch of friends that teach me about realism, but you have to know how the world is set up, and then you can know how to be able to express your spiritual gifts in every part of your life. And if you ever want to reach out to me, just leave a comment for me. I would love to be able to reach back out to you. But it's just about being able to stay committed. And, it's not about, I'm not going to talk about it. I'm just going to do it. And if I don't do it, I wasn't accountable. I failed. But if I do it, I mean, what you gain from it is just, it's humbling. It's humbling.